It's Monday. Kitty Holler's back. Yes, we can see you. I'm glad you're back. She was having technical difficulties. I can relate. How y'all holding up? Do let me know if you're holding up okay. I can tell it's going to get a little noisy. Seagulls have been going crazy. All right. Well, I remember many times over the past 4 years, more than 4 years. Yeah, because I've been doing this like 5 or 6 years. I started on Facebook. Since I started on having the Psychic News Network, I have said it's going to be a roller coaster ride. Boy, is it ever! Feel like you've aged 50 years? You haven't. You went to church today? And found out that you were unique? Oh, Church of Spirituality. Good! I'm glad to hear that you've attended my virtual service on at Church of Spirituality. This month is about divine autonomy. It's a pretty interesting topic about how your uniqueness is so important and how it serves the whole. Happy Kamala Day. I like it. So yesterday was intense, but I think it was necessary. And you know what was definitely necessary, I didn't hear Kamala's speech. I did miss that, but I'll catch up with it. I'll watch Midas Touch afterwards. Better late than never. You're here. A lot of people are running a little bit late. So, I just want to applaud everybody here. I mean, let's ring a bell. I'm not on StreamYard. I don't have the applause button. What we have been asked to deal with psychologically is a lot. It's really a lot. I'm glad to hear. I can't wait to hear the speech. I didn't hear it. I didn't know she was going to be speaking because I'm not watching mainstream news. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I just also know from all the times I pulled the Four of Cups, we need more involvement. And we will have more involvement. And look, it's happening. All this intending, all this sending out positive vibrations, all this keeping the faith, don't think that doesn't go anywhere. It really does. Will money be finally taken out of politics in the future? That's a good question. I do feel that it will. As far as potential VP picks, I'm leaning heavily into Mark Kelly being the VP pick. Slept very little last night. I want to remind you that on Friday, I felt, the last cards that I pulled on Friday, I felt really good news coming. Yeah, there's a lot of good news, right? The loser's having a meltdown. We needed to not see a good man like Joe Biden being bashed again and again and again and again. We needed for that to just stop. It was really painful. It was really hard. It was like if you had an elderly, 81-year-old relative who was the nicest person, doing the best that they could, and all they got was, no acknowledgement and holy hell, and really unfairly. So here we are. On July 22nd, we're having a show. We're having an astrology show tomorrow at 3. Okay? You're welcome. I'm glad to be here. We're having an astrology show with Kathy Beal tomorrow at 3. I always speak in Eastern time to keep things, less confusing. So 3 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. We'll be here. We'll be looking at, of course, Kamala Harris's chart. We'll probably take a peek at Joe Biden's chart. I forget who else she said. There's so many things to read on. I think the Heritage Foundation chart. Let me give you the preview of what she said. We have charts on. Let's see. Harris, J.D. Vance, and the Heritage Foundation, and Kathy can also talk about astrologically what was going on with the assassination attempts. One physical, one political. That's an interesting way to put it. Okay, I'll ask her to look at Mark Kelly also. I don't know if she's here, but I'm just going to rate in Mark Kelly. Now, here's the reason that I'll look at it. Is it an EY or I think it's an EY. Here's the reason why I'm feeling Mark Kelly strongly. So she would be the first female president of the United States. We're a little slow in the uptake in this country. She would be a little, she would be, it would look good. Like Mark Kelly, not that Kamala Harris needs this. Mark Kelly is a military guy. He's, I think he was in the Air Force because he was an astronaut, so I'm assuming it was the Air Force. Hey, Damon. I know, and the governor of Kentucky is on my mind pretty strongly too. So we'll kind of take a look at it and see which way the pendulum goes on them. And by the way, I just want to mention that as far as all the good psychics saying Biden win and saying Biden not quitting, Biden didn't want to quit. He didn't intend to quit. But this is, this is kind of a Biden win in a certain kind of a way. I know that might sound like a cop-out, but, the shift in energy is phenomenal. I think that Joe Biden is both sad and relieved, of course, And when I was reading yesterday during our emergency session, Amanda, Mark Kelly is a senator in Arizona. And his wife is Gabby Giffords that got shot in the face by a crazy person back in the 90s, I think that was. And so we need to keep that Senate seat in Arizona. I know, but Arizona is also where all the problems are with the voting and the people that try to cheat and all that. So, what are you saying, Jack Smith for VP? When I was reading on all this during our emergency session yesterday, when I had just finished up Church of Spirituality, and lo and behold, I started getting all these messages because it happened right after I finished. And so I jumped on for the emergency session. I was kind of surprised to see that I was pulling cards yesterday, and when I was kind of asking about how I can't call them Republicans because they're not, how the Putin fascist segment of our government would respond, it hit me. Pete Buttigieg, yeah. It hit me really kind of in a big wave. It was like, whoa, they got whooped upside the head. The MAGAs got whooped upside the head because they didn't expect this. It came out of left field. And, yeah, it was in 2011. Oh, I thought it was, oh, wow. Gabby Gifford was shot in 2011. It seems like a longer time ago than that. That was such a horrible, horrible thing. And there's a documentary about Gabby Giffords. I don't remember where I saw it a while back, but about her journey back from being shot in the face and how hard that was. So Electra Storm is saying it won't be a close race. What we have to work on is voting rights. getting our voting rights back, stopping the voter suppression and all that. So, yeah, so yesterday I was blown away by how much energy I got from the MAGAs in Congress not knowing what hit them, because they're not very bright. Let's just tell the facts. They're not very bright. Kamala Harris is very, very, very bright. And Mark Kelly, if it ends up being Mark Kelly, military has protector energy. You know what I mean? Like if I was walking down a dark alley and I knew that Mark Kelly was in my close proximity, I wouldn't walk down a dark alley and he'd never be in close proximity. But anyway, just making the point, I would feel safe that Mark Kelly was there. Dad joke, what kind of cars do eggs drive? Volkswagens. What? Yolkswagens. I like it. Bum. You know what I mean? How is Mark in minority issues? As a black woman, I need to know he will have our back. Of course he will. Of course he will. You know, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's the Republicans who lean in that, like small-minded just stupidity of racism. It's just like, I don't know what to call it. A Yolkswagen. So, I am reignited, and it feels, reignited. I'm very excited. Maybe I'll write a song, because that rhymes. Gosh, Kathy's saying she doesn't know who he is. I'm just going to leave that. Mark Kelly. Biden waited until JD was nominated. Okay. I kind of don't know where to begin. Let's check the pendulum. And let's ask... You guys staying cool out there? $250 million has been raised for Kamala. We've been waiting for this. Mark Kelly was a captain in the U.S. Navy. Oh, he wasn't in the Air Force. Aha. Darren, were you in the Navy? Here's my pendulums. I moved them. Okay, let's do this. Thank you for being here. Please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to do percentage-wise. What percentage, hey Kalani, what percentage chance does Mark Kelly have of being the VP nominee? 10%, 20%, 30%, 40, 50, 60, it's around 60. Pete Buttigieg would be great. I think Pete Buttigieg would be a great president. I don't think he's on the short list. I think he's doing a great job as Secretary of Transportation. Yeah, the Republicans are running around like chickens. Okay, so Cooper. What's Cooper's first name? He's Kentucky? No, that's Bashir. Bashir. Okay, wait. Bashir. Roy Cooper is North Carolina. Thank you. Kamala needs... Now we're speaking of her as if she's a presumptive nominee, but she's not the nominee just yet till the convention. All right, Cooper, 10%, 20%. Not as strong for Cooper. Yeah, I didn't think that Mayor Pete, I still call him Mayor Pete. I didn't think he's interested in the position. Hugs to everyone. Thanks. Darren was a U.S. Navy Nurse Corps scholarship student. Good for you. Okay. Okay. I'm not getting into any details. I'm just looking at, the percentage-wise. Mark Kelly's percentage-wise, it looks like around 60%. Cooper is lower. And Bashir, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. So my pendulum's leaning more towards Mark Kelly, because he was up in the 60% range. Oh, Josh Shapiro, I forgot about him. I thought there were only 3, but okay. What percentage chance, like right now, it's still kind of pending. Shapiro, 10%, 20%, not so high, 30%. I think that I'm picking up that the states that have been really contentious, like Arizona, and with Mark Kelly being, of course, a huge advocate for gun control. No, Gavin Newsom is not interested. I'm only going with the short list that I saw. The dog whistles and racism will amp up on the Putin side. I know, because I remember yesterday when I was reading on it that I got the cards with the 10 of swords, and there was some real ugly stuff going to come out. Trey Crowder did a great short take. I'll check that out. Now, group hug time. Give me a topic for the group hug. Michael says his pendulum says Bernie Sanders. I know, I got that the other day too. Let's see how that checks out. I think Kamala will go for the younger crowd. Let's see. Bernie Sanders, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. I get like a 50% on Bernie Sanders. I feel like Bernie Sanders will be better in a sort of consulting role. Or, some kind of a position. So here we are, we're talking about Kamala Harris as if she's already president. No ageism, Gloria's saying Bernie is too old. Let's do a dad joke. Knock, knock, who's there? A little old lady. A little old lady who? Hey, you can yodel. Yodel-hee-hoo. It's been a weird energy day, but I can tell you that it has kind of broken. The tension has kind of broken, right? Or manifesting. Happy birthday to all the Leos out there. The sun went into Leo today, so you're probably feeling a lot of energy. Now, that full moon in Capricorn fell on Guru Purnima. And if you don't have a guru and if you don't follow any of that, you might not know, but it's an auspicious day. Yesterday was a really auspicious day for divine grace and divine happenings regards to expansion and growth for the positive. So it was really amazing to me how much energy there was going on yesterday. Yeah, we need to break the power of the elites. And it just felt like something broke, like we had a breakthrough. And who knew that the breakthrough would come in the form of Biden stepping aside and putting Kamala on the stage. And if you really think about it, this is what gives me faith. The way that all lined up. It was like Biden, and all the support for Biden, and we were really upset at people for bashing Biden. We were so upset at the media. I do have a sign about the media. I didn't finish coloring it in yet. I'm on a blackout with mainstream media. There is a whole, I don't know how many people involved, but there are lots of organizations that are not watching mainstream media from now until August 4th, I think. Thank you, Sharon. Oh, you have tea leaf reading. That's another announcement I need to make. An anonymous donor bought 8 more tea leaf readings. Group hug for the success of the Democratic Party. Let's do that now before we really get into it. Get in touch with Terry through psychicannetteDion.com, Sharon, because you need to get your tea leaf reading. You were one of the people on the list. Yeah, isn't it funny how things lined up? Katie Tur's facial expression was priceless. Yeah. It's time for us to you know, it's the irony is like Trump said this on January 6th at the Ellipse. We need to take our country back. We need to take our country back, not just for us, for the good of the entire world. All right, so we're going to do a group hug and we're going to think about democracy just totally knocking it out of the park and succeeding. Can I tell you which ones are okay to watch? Well, before we do the group hug, Amanda's asking, so what mainstream media, Fox we never watch, but that's mainstream media. CNN, ABC, NBC, and any version thereof, and MSNBC, which I love Lawrence O'Donnell, but I'm gonna have to forego MSNBC because I'm keeping my my promise, and I'm very upset at mainstream media for how much they were like ignoring all the insanity of Trump. Yeah, you don't watch any of them, so it's easy for you, right? Group hug, democracy winning. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. This is a shot in the arm we needed, right? Yeah, if you're ever confused, you know, that's fine. You can ask a question. So, I mean, does anybody get vertigo after a while? Because it's just like back and forth, and what's going to happen next? And I know that people were very upset yesterday, and I felt bad that everyone was so upset. Group hugs for democracy. Yes, that's what we just did. I'm just going to pull the curtain a little bit. All right. The seagulls were really loud today. They wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, they're like outside my window just like, wah, wah. It's crazy. Pretty funny. I cried most of the day. Yeah. I know people were struggling yesterday, and I honestly, I was a little bit disturbed by that. Not, I don't mean to offend anybody. I was a little disturbed to realize that it seemed like a lot of people didn't have any tools in their toolbox for how to deal with stress. So I led you all through a breathing exercise, and I just want to say, I have to read this. I just want to say that we need more tools in our toolbox to deal with stress. Ruth Bang G out Substack column, lucid picture of Mussolini with a bandage on his nose after an assassination attempt in 1926. Let's go there for a second. Because anyone who's been here for a while knows that I say repeatedly that Trump was Mussolini. Trump is definitely scared of Kamala. That's what I was really surprised to see that when I was doing a reading on this yesterday. You cried tears of joy. Good, Cheryl. Is Trump's soul having memories of being Mussolini? Yes. 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 Yeah, most of you are grieving. But I know it. But for some people, it really was stress. I mean, we had somebody on here yesterday in the chat who was like, I can't breathe. That's what I'm talking about. So there are ways, and please don't disregard that if you're on the grassrootsofdemocracy.com email list under 20 on Tuesdays, no, if you're on any of the email lists, grassrootsofdemocracy.com, you will receive a guided meditation weekly. And that will help you to learn how to calm down and meditate. Yes, and Biden still has 6 months to introduce a lot of changes. True, true, true. Which cards should we use? I've been moving my cards around so I forget which ones I have. I'm kind of feeling the Voyager deck. Oh, and stay tuned for me to make the announcement. We have our anonymous donor. Makes me so happy. You all make me so happy. Has donated 8 tea leaf readings. Everybody hit the thumbs up and we'll get to that. Should I divulge them all tonight? Maybe I'll just divulge a couple and have you keep coming back. I'm going to pull 3 cards on how the Democrats are doing today. How the Democrats are doing today. I'm pulling 3 cards about that. How are the Dems doing today? They're sad that Biden was forced to step down. Let me just say something right here. Joe Biden could have done the job. That's why we were so upset. Thank you, Jude. Appreciate it. Let me give you a little bell. Every donation helps. But the media just kept not doing their job. He could have done the job. I just want to make it clear. Biden could have done another 4 years. Yes. He's keeping his word on only serving 1 term. I remember that. I remember now that he said that. And in 2020, I was begging people. Well, it wasn't hard here. I was begging people to please understand that Joe Biden needed to hold that space. He was a placeholder so we could have our democracy safeguarded. Nanya's back. Are you feeling better today? Midas Touch said that Trump is losing his mind. What else is new? Yeah, you've lost our respect for Pelosi and Schiff. Yeah, it was awful the way they treated him. So how the Democrats are doing today? They're sad that sad to see Biden step down. A lot of them are, but then there's a brilliance. Then there's a brilliance about what happened. So it's like 2 different sides. Life is a mishmash, right? YouTube already has ads making fun of Biden and Kamala. What do you mean YouTube has ads? Because when I monetize my channel, which I make a mere pittance from, but when I monetize my channel, I like to know what the commercials are. I have commercial free. Clooney hasn't said anything about Kamala. This just happened, too. Yeah, it was lousy what they did to Joe Biden. And this is, it's all like everything's, the universe is in charge. Streisand came out for Kamala. They will. Let's go for a dad joke. Felt uncomfortable driving into the cemetery. The GPS blurted out, "You have reached your final destination." We love you, Thomas. Let me take this opportunity to let Thomas know that you're one of the people on the list that gets a tea leaf reading. For all your hard work. Reach out to us. Go to my my website. I put it up there, psychicannetteDion.com. Reach out. Let me tell you something about Nancy Pelosi. As cold-hearted as it seems like it was what they did, this is what I want you to be aware of. I mean, I don't mean to point to you. This is what I want you to be aware of. Sometimes I feel like a school teacher. I would, if I had ever had children, I would have been a very strict mom. This is a Nancy Pelosi thing too. I think that part of what happened was that Nancy Pelosi is pretty brilliant at reading the room. And I think as cold as it seemed, as cold-hearted as that seemed, and as angry as it made us, that they pushed him out, I think Pelosi read the room. Yeah, I just, yeah, she's wearing those heels at 84. She just, she wouldn't put a bill on the floor unless the votes were there, right? She wouldn't do anything unless she knew she was going to win. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. And she is older than Biden. I'm talking about that she was kind of reading the room. Waiting for Taylor Swift to endorse Kamala. Yeah, it's time for us to have a female president. It's time. And Grassley is 90. I know, it always bothers me that they never talk about that. And how old is Mitch McConnell? Anyway, how the Democrats are doing it is they're sad, but there's a brilliance card. That was a brilliant move. And Joe Biden's okay with it. Joe Biden wants what's best for the country. And the time space is like the universal hand. The divine hand is at work. You didn't say darn when you wrote damn? It's quite alright. Meanwhile, I hear trash mouths talking. They had a hearing with the head of the Secret Service. I don't know her name. She's a female. They just had a hearing. It was like supposed to be basically nonpartisan because the shooter that attempted to assassinate Trump was a Republican Trump supporter, right? Did anybody see that? Nancy Mace is like cussing on the floor, and as is Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've had enough of these people. We've had enough of these people. I mean, let's get back to normalcy, can we? And Grassley, speaking of Grassley up there, Chuck Grassley was part of the insurrection. AOC called them out. So we have an opportunity to get past these disgusting excuses for human beings being in positions of leadership and power and just sticking it to us. We have an opportunity. Hey Maria, you're glad we are all here. Yes. So, it was a brilliant move, the cards are saying. Believe me, Joe Biden is okay with it. Look at how much appreciation he's getting showered all over him now. He needed that. That wouldn't have happened so much if he got reelected. We wouldn't have been showering him with all this appreciation. He is a goat. He's a goat president. Greatest of all time. Yeah, that ship sailed a long time ago. Enough with these people. So 3 cards about how Kamala's doing right now. Boy, if it were you and all these millions upon millions of dollars were pouring in, you'd be pretty happy. Please use her last name in respect for the office, Harris 2024. You don't want me to say Kamala? I don't understand, Betty. Is there something wrong with calling her by her first name? We call Joe Joe. Yeah, you're mentioning Laura Loomer. Boy, that woman, they're showing their true colors. We already knew they were slimy black. Slimy, icky. I'm talking about the Putin Republicans and what they're saying about Kamala. Bunch of slime buckets. I hear a band. How Kamala is feeling. I have the breakthrough card. She broke the glass ceiling in a way. It's a very emotional time for Kamala. I think she's a bit overwhelmed. This happened really suddenly. And, oh, Laura Loomer was awful to Jackson Lee after, was that her name, Jackson Lee? When she just passed away? I didn't know that woman's first name was Jackson. But anyway, Laura Loomer, I saw a Midas Touch clip today, and Ben Meiselas could not even read the crass, disgusting things that Laura Loomer was saying about Kamala Harris. Loomer should be ousted. Sheila Jackson Lee. Yeah, I thought it was Sheila. Yeah, slime. They are slime. It is the bottom of the barrel. The negativity this is what Kamala is facing. This is a very emotional time, but it is a breakthrough, and now she's having to, if she's wise, she won't have, she won't give any time of day to what they're saying on Fox. Because what I saw they were saying on Fox, does Vance's wife vote for Kamala? That's funny. What I heard them saying on Fox is I saw clips of Sean Hannity. Man, they're grasping at straws. Yes, I'm gonna watch your speech. Thank you for making me aware. Did you guys see what Sean Hannity did? Clips of Kamala laughing. Now let's check in and ask ourselves: have we ever seen Donald Trump laugh in a way that's just kind of contagious and it makes you laugh too? Have we ever? How long we've had to look at his ugly face? Have we ever seen him laugh? Yes, thank you for posting my P.O. box. And that's all they got on her? Thank you for the donation, Biddy. Thank you. Much appreciated. Why shouldn't you enter into a contract with Wolverine? Because of his retractable claws. That's good. Fox always grasps at straws, but I mean, okay, is it a crime to laugh? Because I should be in prison. Because I laugh constantly. Because life is freaking hilarious. Did the Nikki Haley PAC supporting Kamala? I do think so. 45 doesn't know how to smile. No. And speaking of Nancy Pelosi doing this, I always think, I feel like I'm her sometimes. I always think of when she said to them, "You look at you, you're all miserable." Just cracked me up. She's Italian, I'm half Sicilian, I get it. Okay, so let's see. Kamala shouldn't laugh. That's a problem. Yeah. When you're doing your life path, you smile and you laugh a lot. Rick Scott needs to lose to Debbie. All right, well, let's look at that while you just put that up there. We need to do something about voter suppression. We all need to check and double check our registration. Wait, so tell me the name. So it's let's see, Rick Scott and Debbie. Okay, what's Debbie's last name in Florida? Well, Debbie beat Rick Scott. I'm getting a yes on that. I'm feeling a lot of energy. Yeah, when you laugh a lot, that means you're happy, right? Is there something wrong with that? People at Fox, we should write to them. You guys okay? Make a sign if you're not okay. 3 cards about... 3 cards about mainstream media. Feeling a change in Florida. Well, I mean, like, look at what just happened. The party of fascists I used to call them the pot party, the party of traitors. The party of traitorous fascists, the Putin Republicans, are looking at women like they're not human. Do you remember MAGA Mike Johnson when he actually said we need more babies so we have more workers? Women are bleeding out and dying. I don't mean to get graphic, but let's just be realistic. Because of these misogynist, hateful, horrible people who got themselves in positions of power. And it's mostly men, but it's also people like Marsha Blackburn too. And I can think of several other females that are misogynist, which is startling to me. What was I just going to read on? I was going to read on the mainstream media. No mainstream media until, well, you might not go back for 2 weeks. A 2-week blackout. No mainstream media. Do it. It will make a difference. Because it's all about the bottom line. It's all about the bottom line. So I'm reading about the media. Well, the synergy of us all coming together and boycotting mainstream media is gonna work because I see progress. That's commencement. I see progress. They're not gonna let us know that they've been chastised and it made an impact. They're not gonna let us know that. But this mainstream media blackout, like they're not going to say, oh, people stopped watching us and our bottom line fell. You know, they're not going to do that. Yeah, I saw a little bit of J.D. Vance's event today. It was awful. You're in Tennessee, so you can say that about Marsha Blackburn. She's awful. You know what? It makes me glad I left Tennessee because I love Nashville, but I don't think I could handle all the Trump flags. It's going to change. It's going to change. Hey, Doug. How was the wilderness? You've been in the Canadian wilderness? Good to have you back. Justin is saying I can see Vance's wife leaving him. Let's ask about that. They shut down Morning Joe and Joe and Mika said they'd do it again, they would quit. Yeah, that was a week or so ago. Anyway, so the mainstream media, they're not going to tell us that our blackout efforts worked. They're going to keep that a secret. But I do see that they do work because the synergy of us all together means we make progress. And I read on this months and months and months ago, and I saw that mainstream media would start losing and the YouTube channels would start winning, and then they would try to do, mainstream media corporate would try to do something to mess with YouTube or whatever, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You have one Trumper down the road from you? At least it's not a lot. So J.D. Vance today said something about Mountain Dew. Is it possible 45 steps down by force? I would not be surprised. We'll read on that too. Now wait, somebody just asked me a question. What was it? Will Vance's wife leave him? He's against immigrants and he's married to an Indian woman from India. Yes, I remember the question. I'm just looking for the right pendulum. We'll stick with this one. Will J.D. Vance's wife leave him? Undecided, but this is not saying a no. Undecided. Yeah, it's a very undecided thing. Look how undecided that is. It's up in the air. I don't know why my pendulum's doing that. That's pretty intense. Okay. I missed the Jimmy Carter quote, but I'm sure it was amazing. She just looked sick at the convention. That convention, I mean, honestly. Yeah, it's a maybe, Justin. She's a lawyer who clerked with Kavanaugh and Roberts and SCOTUS. Yeah. It doesn't look like that's going to happen in the near future. All right, time to go to the nefarious people cards. When you've been doing this as long as I have, you're always surrounded by cards. It's pretty hilarious. If you'd like to book a reading, it's psychicannetteDion.com. If you want to join us for our psychic summer school class, this Saturday's class is on finding out about your guides. Yes, one of the winners is Thomas. I'm not going to read them all tonight. I'm going to spread them out through the week. The next, let me tell you another one. So, psychicannetteDion.com, just send a message through my website. I'm just going to read 2 winners, maybe 3 tonight. Thomas is one. He gets a tea leaf reading from our donor. And Maria Rodriguez. You also get a tea leaf reading. Congratulations. And thanks to our donor. Okay. Now, who else is on this list? J.D. Vance. Do I see Trump not doing debates? I do not see Trump doing debates. I'm not sure that Trump's health is going to hold up. You don't understand the racial reference of Diet Mountain Dew. Maybe J.D. Vance was talking about people that live in rural areas drink a lot of Mountain Dew. I'm just guessing. Yes, you're welcome, Maria. Yeah, there's a band playing. I don't know where that music is coming from. It's Monday. That's unusual. Trump has a sentencing coming up. Warren's asking, will he withdraw his candidacy? I'm kind of leaning in that direction. What are you saying? Justin, it's funny Vance's wife will be voting for Kamala, or you're joking? Have I seen Trump lately? That dementia's written all over his face. Yeah, he's looking terrible. I don't know how he's going to end up staying in the race. Yeah. Justin's just joking. J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, when I heard that little bit of a snippet of J.D. Vance speaking today, it was with zero oomph and zero conviction, zero sense of believing what he was saying. It was bad. Trump had a CAT scan of the head, apparently. Can you see if they found anything? Nobody has his medical records. It's true, in many places in Appalachia, many people drink lots of Mountain Dew. It's causing lots of fatty liver disease. That's so sad. J.D. Vance is kind of, the Two of Cups is like all he's doing is making deals. All he's doing is agreeing to things. That's all he's doing. Maria's got a birthday coming up on Friday. Yippee! And you're you're a member, right? I have the members at the top 2 levels are invited to a psychic party this coming Saturday, once a month. Ace of Wands, 9 of Wands. I'm getting that J.D. Vance is just going to fall flat on his damn face. I really do. Yeah. Angela's saying whoever's backing J.D. Vance is probably regretting it now. I read on it last week and I got that Trump was regretting it. Look at how much changes in a week. Last Monday, I'm so glad it's over. That, what did I call it? The Fascist Criminal National Convention. That was one for the bad history books. Okay. So JD Vance, I think what's going to happen with JD Vance is his speaking ability is not going to work out. Look, this, who is this? Urbain Grandier. I have to look it up in the book. I'm not sure who he was. But look at these cards on JD Vance. His speaking's not going to go too well, and he's going to be criticized. He's going to be criticized. It's going. I mean, I only saw a little tiny clip of it, a few seconds, and I was like, he's got no charisma whatsoever. There was no, and also he knows he's lying, and his grandpa on the other side is very disapproving of him, and I think that that's on JD Vance's mind. I really do. And is it Peter Thiel who owns PayPal? Just as a side note, I'm figuring out how to get off of PayPal. I can't support that. Yeah, okay, so this is JD Vance is a terrible speaker. It's a terrible speaker. He's a terrible speaker. JD's wife may say it's not going. We're going to get our butt kicked by Kamala. People you know who live in Ohio really dislike Vance, and also he didn't win. He didn't win. Tim Ryan won that election. Stacey Abrams for VP, I'm not picking that up. Unfortunately, we have to take into consideration that there are certain people in America that are voters that are still prejudiced and racist and misogynist. Not that we should appease them, but it's just something you have to kind of think about. You have to think about everything. Let's look at how the Donald is doing. I think Maria's commenting on how sad it was that Biden had to step down. It's all going to work out for the divine good. You know, Biden's 81, and you know that he probably wants to spend the rest of his life now enjoying the rest of his life, right? 180 million by Musk, you mean to Trump? I know George Conway has a new pack, and it's called the Psycho Pack, right? Definitely going to check that out. I did donate to Kamala Harris today. Oh, Peter Thiel sold PayPal. Thanks for the scoop. Then why do they keep saying he owns PayPal? Maybe they put it in the past tense. Jill Biden. So yeah, well, you know what? Joe Biden's wife has a huge say in things, but I don't feel like it's. I feel like it's definitely mutual consent. George Conway has big billboards signed up. So I am. Musk used to own PayPal. I didn't know that. And also, I've been really considering about like where my dollars are going. It's time for me to once again look up who they support, who they donate to. Excuse me, because I drive a Toyota, and they're donating to the Republicans, or you know, I have to start re-looking at where my money's going and start changing it. Biden's throat has been bad for a while. You're concerned. I think it's just fatigue. The presidency ages people. Yeah, if you were Darren saying if I was 81 and had COVID, I'd want to just take a break and focus on my health. Yes. I think Biden might be a little bit of a workaholic. Dad joke, what does a house wear? A dress. And a dress. How's the loser doing? He's really worried about the law coming after him. Oh my gosh, yesterday when I ever had the like, wow, and when it hit me, and then it hit everybody else today, I noticed I probably hit other people right away. This would be a prosecutor running against a convicted felon. I'm telling you. Republican policies have helped keep unions out of the Toyota factories. Yes, I'm considering turning my car in. I'm serious about that. I don't feel good paying. All right. This is about the loser, and it's interesting that the Nine of Wands came up for J.D. Vance and the loser, and he's going to continue to go downhill cognitively because now Trump is really stressed, and he knows the Hierophant. This is indicative of the Constitution and the law, you know, just laws, right? Yeah, flying to Europe at age 81 is stressful. Yes, definitely. And so Trump is going to have the same problem as J.D. Vance, is people are going to hear him and not really, it's not really going to translate. It's not going to really come across. It's not going to sink in any relevant way. Why is everyone thinking that Trump would drop out of the race? You don't think that he would? I don't think it would be of his own volition. We can read on that. Oh, remember, it's a Midas touch night, so we have to read the tea leaves real quick. So let's do this. Is Donald Trump going to continue to be in the race till the end? I have a no. I cannot tell you how many times I've read on that and I've gotten a no. Every single time. Hey, Bond Blue, are you just showing up or just winding down? Let me remind you that tomorrow we're having a political astrology show because Kathy Beale did get the quota of a couple of astrology chart readings. Definitely, I can't wait to talk to her. It's going to be a lot to talk about. Yeah, Michael's saying the same thing. I don't see Trump. How many times I've said it. I don't see him lasting through the whole race. Well, this is interesting. There's a lot of arrows under the sun. This is indicating, thank you, Dancing Warrior. Much appreciated. Kathy Beale read for you today? Excellent. Get an astrology reading with Kathy. Am I getting a reading from her channel, Annette? What do you mean? We're having a show tomorrow, political astrology, right here on my channel. Dad joke, no matter how much you push the envelope, it'll still be stationary. Help the algorithm, leave a comment after the video. I've been trying to give you hearts and stuff when you leave a comment. There's a lot of movement. Cosmic movement. Sun, Leo, lots of fiery energy coming. This looks like somebody sailing or in a boat, going fast. A lot of fast moving action. It's a lot of this is astrological. There's a fish there. Go with the flow. This is Mars. I've been feeling the demise of Vladimir Putin. I have been feeling that. More on that later. I've been feeling like it's not working for Putin. That looks like an eagle to me. We're coming back around. That looks like a mouse taking care of details. That to me looks like a woman sitting down. The women are just waiting. The women are we're just waiting for our marching orders. How does Putin feel about Kamala? That doesn't take a psychic. I mean, we can look at that on Wednesday in more detail. Yes, there's a woman sitting there, and it looks like it's just, we're just waiting for our marching orders. Taking care of the details right now. This is about I'm seeing Kamala just, really making a, metaphorically speaking, a battle plan. And I said before this all happened last week, it might have been 1 week ago. Yeah, you dream Putin was taken out. I don't feel like he's long for this world. Thank you, Beth. Much appreciate. Oh, what a sweet note. Turn the cup. Squirrel? Yeah, squirrel has to do with working. Squirrels are very industrious. And then, what else do we have? That looks like a deer. Be gentle. Be gentle. Everybody stop being anxious. What I don't want to do is I don't want to turn on the news, and there's an umbrella there. Be gentle. Everybody be gentle, and we'll feel better. With ourselves and with everything that's going on. It's actually an act of self-care to not watch mainstream media. Honestly. It's an act of self-care to not watch mainstream media, because they'll make you crazy. Or anything that's right-wing, even if you watch it by accident, or don't watch it too much, it'll make you upset. So Thomas has been donated a tea leaf reading. Don't take it personally if you're not on the list. We can't kind of cover everybody. Maria, and be grateful. You're in the chat? Don't forget to breathe, everyone. So Thomas, Maria, and be grateful. And then on Wednesday, I'll tell you who else gets a tea leaf reading from our anonymous donor. All right, thank you. You guys are awesome. Stay hydrated. Darren, you're so sweet. You're all so sweet. You're all so nice. Please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe. And one thing I want to tell you is that in 2020, I kind of did what I could to help the stress level moving up, and during the election months leading up to it. I'm going to do it again starting this week. I'm going to check in with you every day, not for a live stream every day, but I'm going to check in with you every day until the election. Okay? All right? Probably pre-recorded vids that are shorter, just to keep people at an even keel. We're in this together. We need to hold each other up. All right. Thank you so much. Namaste. Keep the faith. Go watch Midas Touch. Give them some support and thumbs up and everything. Please subscribe, share this channel and all that. And thank you so much for your generous donations. Namaste. See you tomorrow for Grassroots of Democracy, the meditation group. All right. See you. Bye, Doug.